Hiya. Today I'd like to talk about people with dementia becoming invisible. I know that sounds really weird to some, but some people with dementia can actually feel invisible sometimes. And it's because the communication has gone, because they don't feel like talking, and because they feel so isolated and so alone. But sometimes is that their fault? Now I question this because I'm not too bad with Elaine, my wife. We will stop the television, whatever's on or whatever's happening during the week or the weekend, and say, "Do you fancy a chat?" And we do this quite often. It's sometimes once a day, and we just talk about the kids mostly, but usually upcoming holidays and things like that, and what's going on during the day or what's upcoming in the week. But we take that time out to have a chat. And it works wonders. It works wonders, and it really does help me. But I know there are some people out there that don't get that chance, or aren't as lucky as I am. Now, there's a question that I raise is, are they losing the ability to communicate, or are people actually stopping talking to them because they're not too sure what to say, or they know they're getting worse? And I can actually speak from personal experience. It's not so much in the home, it's when we go out in public, or if we go out with friends or big meetings, relatives, meetings at weekends. And because I'm not as active as when I was, and I'm not as gregarious, shall we say, or which is a posh way for saying I've got a big gob, because I'm not as lively as I was. People think, oh, well, he's getting worse, and they don't bother coming over to talk or chat. And because you're sitting there quiet, people think or imagine that you're losing or you've lost the ability to speak or to converse properly, or you can't hold a proper conversation because they know you've got dementia, but they think, wrongly or rightly, that you cannot understand what they're going to say or keep up with them. It's a scientific fact that the last of your senses to go when you're passing is your hearing. And that's why it's always so important to tell someone that you love them, or to say what you want to say just before they die, because it is the last thing that goes. But there isn't a doctor out there in the world can tell you what a person with dementia is thinking, even in late stages. There isn't a doctor out there that can read your mind, dementia or not, that can tell you what you're thinking or what you can hear or what you can understand, because they don't know. Only you know that. Only the person with dementia knows that. So I suppose my message today to everybody is, if you do see somebody with dementia who's being really quiet or looking a bit lonely or looking or withdrawn or something like that, you know, please go over or start a conversation with them. And I know sometimes it may be difficult, and sometimes what they come out with may not make sense, but it makes sense to them. And just the thought of having that companionship and somebody talking to them can ignite all the neurons in the brain, and it can ignite memories in the brain that can ignite other things as well. So just because you think people have lost the ability to speak or don't understand is not always necessarily the case. Dementia is without doubt one of the most loneliest diseases in the world. And I'm hoping that I'll do a few more of these little videos, very short, but just little things speaking by experience that I hope may help. We believe that integration is so important, and we believe that involvement and engagement with those with dementia are the two most important things in the world. Because if you do engage with people with dementia, they will tell you some wonderful stories. Well, it's goodbye from me for the time being, and thank you for listening. Bye, everybody.